This is the plaintiff, Victor Braswell. He says he had his precious belongings stored at the defendant's facility, and when he went to retrieve them, 2 mink coats, 2 iPods, and a Bose sound system were missing. The defendant was always a little shady, but you live and you learn. Regardless, the defendant's responsible for his stuff while it's under his care. So he's suing for the $4,928.17 he's owed. This is the defendant, Jeff. He says the plaintiff failed to pay his storage fees for 4 months, and his stuff was 1 day away from being auctioned off. The auctioneer entered the unit, took pictures of everything, and there were no fur coats or any of the other things the plaintiff's scammer claims were in there. That's for sure. He's accused of letting the fur fly.
Okay, Victor Braswell?
Yes.
You are suing the self-storage facility. You've asked us not to use the name of the facility or your last name, represented here by Jeff, so we'll just call you Jeff, for $4,928.17 in damages that you say you sustained because somebody ripped you off. All right,
Yes.
Tell me what's going on.
I got the storage unit back in August 2008, all the way up until December 2010.
Okay.
I admit I was behind in payments, but my stuff never went for auction. They wouldn't let me in the unit, even when the bill was down to $124. Even when my mother passed, they wouldn't even let me get a suit. And when I did go in December 2008 to move my stuff out, they had went through my belongings. They wrote on boxes.
Wait, how were you able to go in December of 2000?
Because everything was paid in full.
Okay.
So when I went in December 2000, the last week of 2010, when I first went in, the locks was on the floor cut.
How long had you not had access to your stuff?
Since October 2008. So when it got current, that's when I decided to move everything out. And I noticed that the boxes was going through, which I have the pictures. They wrote on, they itemized what was in certain boxes. They said they never cut my locks. I have the cut locks.
Who itemized what was in the boxes?
The lady who works at the desk said it's the guy who does the auctions.
Right, but they would never do that 2 weeks beforehand. That's really...
But I haven't had access for 2 years. So I don't know when they did it.
Okay. Was it going to go to auction more than once?
Yes.
Okay. So how many times was it about to go to auction before you saved it?
It was up for auction 6 times.
6 times? Yes. Oh, okay. You're right. It could have been cataloged way before. All right, so go on.
So I went through the unit, and I see stuff was missing. I have an audio when I spoke to the lady downstairs.
Okay.
I have the pictures.
How do you have an audio when you spoke to the lady downstairs?
I recorded it from my cell phone, a conversation.
Did you tell her you were recording it?
No.
Okay. Play the audio for me. What does it say?
Hello. I started moving my stuff out. I'm noticing that my boxes was going through. I know my stuff was up for auction, but it never went for auction. I noticed that the boxes is open and people wrote what's in the boxes. There's a box upstairs now, and it says iPod on there, but there's no iPod in there. I noticed a lot of my DVD collection is missing. I don't know. I don't think nobody went into your room. Somebody went in there because when I opened it, the box was...
Okay. Now, that's the day that you're moving stuff out, right?
Yes, that's the
first
first
day. What day is that?
That was maybe like December 17th. Maybe.
Okay, so now on December 17th, you make that tape, unbeknownst to the lady, where you're taping yourself, informing her that there's a box, that your boxes have been written on. You did not write on them. Do you have pictures?
Yes.
Okay, and that you suspect that someone has been in there. For example, a box says iPod, but there's no iPod. All right, now what happens? Do you get all your stuff out?
I move all my stuff out. Only thing I had in there was like clothes and boxes. The biggest thing I had was a new bedroom set. Everything was like small boxes.
Okay.
And just clothes and
What do you
miscellaneous.
say was ripped off?
2 mink coats.
You had mink coats in a storage?
Yes. I tried to go in. They wouldn't let me go in to get them because I even tried to go in so I could put them in the storage for the winter, for the summer months.
Why would you put them in there at all instead of having them?
Because my lease was up and I was moving and I thought I was gonna get another place quick, but my mother got sick with cancer and I had to take care of my mother.
Sorry to hear that. So you had 2 mink coats in storage, in a self-storage. And what else did you have that you say was stolen? 2
iPods, a Bose system, and DVD collections.
Okay, hold on one second. A Bose system, what kind? The docking?
The Bose dock for iPod.
Dock for iPod. Okay, can I ask you a question? 2 iPods, one of them was a Nano?
One was a Nano.
How big was your Nano?
The small one.
The little one? Okay, what is it doing in storage?
Because I have 3 iPods.
Yeah, but I mean, they take up this much room.
Yeah,
So
but I have 3. I had a Nano, I had
why
an
do you
80
have so
gig.
many? Just out of curiosity, why do you have so many?
I got them as gifts.
Okay, so you stored them because it was this square was taking too much room.
I couldn't move everything in my mother's house. I have 1 bedroom.
Well, I know you can move everything, but your list is a little unusual. Would you agree?
No.
No? You would not agree that it is odd that someone in a self-storage unit have a Nano this big? You don't think that's odd?
No, if you have 3 iPods, why? Why not?
Because it doesn't take up any room. That's why.
Yeah, if you have your packing everything, you have nowhere to put everything. I can't take everything. I just take the clothes I needed.
Okay. What's going on?
Well, the gentleman had a storage room with us, and he first was put up for auction for the auction dated September 18th of 2009. And the day before that auction, the licensed auctioneer came to the facility, and he went around with the district manager, and they cut the lock to each unit. And when they cut the lock to each unit, they take a picture of the unit. And I'd like to show you the picture of the unit.
Okay.
The auctioneer also writes a detailed list of all the units that are going up for auction that day. And after he took the picture, and he put a seal on the room, and he locked it with another lock.
Do they go through each box and write stuff? Like he has 2 pictures of 2 boxes where stuff is written. Is that something the auctioneer would write, or is that something he wrote?
No, the auctioneer never writes on anybody's boxes. But this gentleman, right before each auction, he would send in just enough money to take him off the auction. Mm-hmm. So this constantly went on for every auction leading up to this last auction.
Right.
So once he made payment in full, the seal was still on the door. We cut the seal, and he purchased another lock, and he finally put that lock on. And the
Do you remove
tenant
the seal in his presence or outside his presence?
No, when the customer makes full payment, we go up with them, we remove the seal, and they put a lock on.
Okay, did that happen in this case?
That happened in this
How
case.
do you know?
Well, because Mr. Baswell came to the office on December 30th and signed a vacate notice saying that he took all his belongings out of the room. He was releasing the room back to us, and he never mentioned that anything was missing.
Okay, that's a different issue. Let me see that. Tell me, Mr. Braswell, when you paid, how did you end up paying in full on the 16th? Check, money order?
It was check, and my lock was cut several times.
Okay, no, wait. So you pay, and what is the very next thing you do?
I paid, and that's when I started. The next day, I think I started moving stuff out.
Did somebody escort you up there for you to put your own lock on it now that you were paid?
Yes.
Would somebody store an iPod Nano in a storage unit?
No, absolutely not. Ridiculous.
What do you think?
It's possible, but it's most likely that everything in there was junk.
What would compel you to put a Nano in a storage unit?
I wouldn't. I don't know why anyone would.
That big?
That's tiny.
That big? Going inside the courtroom.
When do you think somebody stole your mink coats and iPod and
I wasn't access to that. I didn't have access to
now
the unit
there's a piece of paper that he says you signed saying that you are releasing him from any and all claims whatsoever, and that you guys are square, basically.
Can I see that?
Yeah. Look at the highlighted yellow part.
Yeah, this is the letter that said I vacated the unit, yes.
And this is the opportunity to say, oh my God, my mink coats are gone. What I have you saying is, I'm not going to sue you for anything. We're square and everything's fine.
That's why I recorded. I told the lady what was missing on this recording.
No, I know. I hear you saying that. But why did you sign this, discharging?
I didn't read the bottom. They just told me I had to sign it to say that I vacated the unit.
Why don't you read what you're signing? There's 2 sentences to read. You didn't read either one?
They was giving us so much attitude, telling us we couldn't drive. My cousin's a witness.
Who's the lady
here.
who keeps raising her hand?
And the day I was moving
Who's
out,
the lady who keeps raising
that's my
her
cousin.
Okay, did you want to say something coming up?
Yeah. We didn't realize there was a lot of stuff missing until we got the stuff to the next, from point A to point B.
Why wouldn't you? If you had 2 mink stoles in a storage room, why wouldn't you look for that first?
Because we was going through so much.
Okay.
It was so much going on.
I had 6 mink stoles.
And he got
6
more
mink
cold.
stoles.
Yeah.
Can I say something else?
I have pictures. I don't know who's laughing.
He had more minks. That's why he didn't go get the minks out of that storage. He already had more stuff. And he had, you said, why he had that little thing in storage. He packed it. He had another one.
And I have pictures of my
All
war
right, folks,
unit.
let's put to aside whether or not there were 600 or 400 mixed stolls in
Right.
there, and then let's just do this. What do I do with this? Where you are agreeing that you got everything that you needed to get out of there.
But we didn't realize everything wasn't gone.
Okay, that's fine, but what do I do with this? Make a paper airplane and send it off and hit him in the forehead? I can't, because there's a legal ramification to signing this. Verdict for the defendant.
So the plaintiff's unable to prove his case and comes out on the losing end of this verdict. What's your first thought coming out?
I'm fine. It's just people need to be aware of these storage companies, because that's what they do. That's how they handle business. They just go in people's stuff and steal your belongings.
That's what they do?
Yes.
How do they stay in business if that's what they do?
That's how they stay in business.
It's a multi-million-dollar business now, so they coming
They
up
steal.
like, they coming up all over the place.
And I never even seen this man before. Who is he? I never seen. I've been dealing 2 years. Never even seen him before.
I don't know. So what are you going to do? You have to replace the mink coats and everything now? You
I
going to buy new
I have plenty of mink coats, so that's definitely not a problem. I have pictures. I have plenty of minks, plenty.
Really? How many mink coats you got?
I have 6.
6? Okay. All right, we'll head right around the corner there. All right, sir, so come on in here. What's your feeling on the outcome here? What do you think went down here?
I believe the case went swiftly and fairly.
You don't believe his story at all?
No, I don't.
What do you
believe
think
so.
happened? What do you think he's in the courtroom trying to do?
Probably recoup his money that he paid for the years that he's been there.
You ever had this problem before at the old storage facility?
We have people that try to get away with, paying for years and then trying to recoup some of their money. But we're a very honest facility, and justice prevailed today.
Right, Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, liability limitations in contracts are enforceable, and that's why it is so important for you to read them carefully before you sign.